All right, we are live. It's so funny that it gives you like this, you get this countdown, 3, 2, 1, and then you're live, as if there's you know, a studio audience waiting for you to go live. But it builds some anticipation. But yeah, so good morning. This is day 6 of jogging. I'm probably about a mile and a quarter in, so I'm already tired. I'm already sweating. I can't believe I had a sweatshirt on, thank God. I took it off before I started running because it is muggy today. A muggy day in September. And so yeah, so this is day 6. I've been up every day to go jogging. I really did not want to do it today. Today my brain really fought me. And I woke up at 6 a.m. I didn't get on the road till 8. But it was a struggle to battle my brain and say, no, we're going. And it wasn't even like I was really sore or anything. It was just like, all right, it's the weekend, it's Saturday, you did 5 days in a row. You know, you got an appointment at 10 o'clock. And, thank God I woke up at 6, so I only had to only procrastinated 2 hours. If I woke up at 8 and procrastinated 2 hours, I wouldn't have done it. So, good thing I set my alarm for 6 o'clock every morning, even on the weekends. So, we're out on these streets. I can't go that way because the sun, hopefully, well, in a minute, the sun's going to be behind me, which sucks. But it is what it is. But I can't hold him with this arm anymore because my arm's getting tired. I went on TikTok live, and I didn't have anybody in there either. Looks like YouTube's the same. Could be that people don't wake up early on Saturday mornings. That could also be the thing. Might not be the platform. I'm sure as I build an audience, we'll have more people joining us. So, hill number 2. Gosh darn it, this hill sucks. So funny, it's not even like a giant hill. I could see the top of it, but hills in general kill me. All right, let's get up this sucker. I couldn't imagine like climbing up a mountain or even a large hill. Forget a mountain, like hiking up. But yeah, so I'm out here. I'm 6'3", 297 pounds when I started. Actually, let me not lie. I was 289 pounds. I don't know why I lied there. But that's how much I was on day 1. I don't think I've lost much weight because I haven't really got serious with my diet yet and my fasting protocol. Now it's kind of hard to do it all at once. And all I can hear in my head right now is David Goggins calling me a bitch. But yeah, so what I'm going to do this morning, so I started this on September 1st saying I'm going to be 49 in 13 days. And then I got 1 year till I'm 50. And I want my 50s to be better than my 40s. That's the goal. Sorry, close. It's challenging running while holding something, especially when you're tired, right? So, but I said I'm gonna get to, I'm gonna do this every day for a year so I can enjoy my 50s and be healthy. And my legs have gotten extremely weak. I'm diabetic, very high diabetic. My A1C was up to like 12. So I'm on Manjaro. I just upped my dosage. I was on Manjaro before. It got me down pretty far. But then I lost my job. My company went bankrupt. I lost my job, lost my life, my health insurance. Still looking for where I want to go career-wise. What I'd really love to do is make content for people, which is why I started this YouTube channel. I started my podcast. I just recorded last night again. It's called Cosmic Matters. I'm Matt, by the way. And we talked about, are we living in a black hole yesterday? I know I've already done that podcast, but I didn't have a good mic, and the audio was horrible, and so I got rid of that. I redid it. And I think it went pretty well. So it should be up live now on this YouTube channel, and it will be on Spotify. Whew, yeah. Hey, for all of you who think you can't run, I did not want to run today. The brain was like, no, you don't need to do it today. It's a weekend. Like, all the weak crap to try to stop me from my goals was strong. The dark side was strong this morning. But I found the best way to do it is to just start. Like, once you start, your brain shuts off. It's like, all right, we're going. Now, it doesn't shut it completely off. Let me rephrase, because there's been times before where I've started and then it stopped, like not even more than 10 steps in. But at least getting started helps. And I just start really slow. I'm only running like 16 and 17 minute miles. I am not a runner. Well, I guess I am a runner now because I'm up running every day. But I hate running. Like, if you call this running, my 20-year-old self would be like, you're not running, you're just basically walking fast. But my 48-year-old self says, F you, 20-year-old self. This is running for me. So here I am. And thank you for the thumbs up. Appreciate it. But yeah, please like the channel, philosophyman76, subscribe. Doesn't cost anything. It really does help me out. I really would love to leave my work and just make content for a living. And I thought of that because I was like, well, what if I couldn't work anymore? Like, what if I was like 70 years old and disabled, and what if I had all the money I needed? You know, what would I do? What would I do if money wasn't a factor? I definitely would stop sweating into my eyes. Holy mackerel! I gotta wear the headband tomorrow. So sorry to keep switching the camera around. I'm barely living at this point. I'm just keeping my feet going. But anyway, I even forgot where I was. By the way, by the time you get to 2 miles, I start forgetting. I go on tangents. And so if you in the comments want to remind me, hi, I did. Oh, thank you, Trip. I'll try to look at the camera once in a while. But again, forgive me because my brain starts not to... I guess that's why I have such good thoughts, because I have very abstract thoughts while I'm running. That I guess my brain doesn't want to think about the pain in my legs. But anyway, all right, so back to what I wanted to talk about. What I wanted to talk about is my favorite subject, which is Tesla and Elon Musk. And so if you don't know, and I forget that most people don't spend every day learning a little bit about Tesla and Elon Musk and his companies and what they're doing. So I do. I have for going on 10 years, more than 10 years, that every day I've spent a good amount of time. Sometimes I would spend 3 or 4 hours. Sometimes I would just spend 20, 30 minutes, but just watching videos and learning about what's new about Tesla. And what's come out is Elon's new comp plan, right? There we go. Elon's new comp plan came out. And so Elon does his comp plan. The reason why Elon is the wealthiest person in the world, the richest man in the world, is because his comp plans are simply do the impossible and we'll pay you a lot, or if you don't accomplish the impossible, we pay you nothing. And he signs off on it, and he's 2 for 2 in accomplishing it. So what do I mean by this? So his third comp plan, right? Like after he does it, after he achieves it, everyone's like, oh, he's got too much money and he's this and that. But when it's introduced, people go, well, that's nuts. And this third one is just as nuts. And the idea of, if you have any idea of the past as evidence, using it as evidence as the future, if Elon Musk is going to be all in, because Elon, what he wants is voting control over Tesla. He wants to make sure he's got at least 25% of Tesla, so it can't be taken from him by BlackRock or Vanguard, or can't be taken over. He doesn't have enough voting control right now. So the board said, all right, we'll give you, he needs another, I forget how much percentage. Can you guys hear all that wind, by the way? Iran or Israel? Well, Iran, and it is real. You like that? That was right off the cuff. Oh, no one's here. No one was here to hear my pun. Thank you, Trip. So, yeah, let me get back to what I was saying. Sorry, I started reading the comments. And everybody left as soon as I started talking about Elon. But, so the plan for the value that he's got to bring to hit these numbers is ridiculous. So the first tranche for him to get 1% more of the company, right? He's got to hit each tranche. I think there's 10 again. I don't know. I got to look it over really well later today. I'm going to do a video about it. But each tranche, I'm going to hold it in this hand while no one's here. Each tranche is like period of time. He has to achieve he has to hit all the tranches in order to hit the full compensation plan. And the first tranche is he has to double the size of the company. He has to bring the market cap of the company to $2 trillion. $2 trillion. That alone, and by the way, that's not like the only thing he has to do, because sometimes CEOs have these types of comp plans where it's based strictly on share price, which is market cap, or it's based on market cap, basically, which is basically the share price. So what they'll do is they'll manipulate the stock to raise the stock price, and they can do things to pull that off, like doing company buybacks, right? So if they buy back shares, it raises the price of the stock, and people get happy because they're getting dividends and extra money. So there's things that can be done. There's lots of things that can be done. So it's not just he has to double the size of the company. By the way, if he doubles the market cap of the company, that means my investment doubles, right? So that's pretty cool to start off with, right? Because if I have shares at 300 and the market cap goes to 600, I double my value of my portfolio, or at least my Tesla stock. So that's the first thing he's got to do. On top of that, he's got all these different operational milestones that are in there. And again, I'm going to do a video later on today. I'm going to put it into the Future Matters playlist. Just talking about this. Sorry, son. Jeez. All right, hold on. Sorry, more sweat in the eyes. I don't like being on camera without my glasses on. I'm vain. You can see all these wrinkles. Oh man. All right. Oh, and then I just did the dumbest thing, put my glasses in my pocket, where they're gonna be sweaty and dirty now. But it is what it is. There we go. So closing in on 2.2 miles. I'm definitely gonna pass the 40-minute mark. Oop, just hit my earphones. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. So anyway, so not only does the value test have to go up, but he has to hit operational standards. One of the things he's going to do is hit 20 million cars a year. Right now they sell about 2 million, right? So that's a 10x on number of cars sold, right? I'm assuming there's going to be like robo-taxis and, the Model 2 or the Model, whatever the $25,000 car is going to be called. They already made a bigger Model Y. So 20 million cars a year. And then also on top of that, not separate bonuses. Like he has to hit all these things. he has to get a 50% take rate of FSD. Now, FSD take rate, I think, actually, let me figure it out. Hey, how am I doing? I'm dying. I'm running in the morning. This is day 6. That's how I'm doing. So anyway, I'm on mile 2, and I don't run very fast. I'm very heavy. But I want to say, what is the subscription cost? Let me look it up really quickly. Well, hopefully so I guess I can't leave this. Oh wow, 13 people. Where'd you guys come from? Anyway, so I guess I can't leave the live up while I'm doing this. But anyway, I just looked it up. So it's $99 a month for FSD subscription monthly, right? So now you have $99. Let's just say $100. So do math easy. $100 a month for 10 million subscribers. So 10 million plus times 10 is 100 million times another 10. Wait, can't be right. That's not right. Oh yeah. No, we're talking about money. We're not talking about. So 10 million subscribers are on 20 million cars. Oh, so 10 million subscribers at $100 a piece. Again, math while running. 100 million, it's $1 billion. Holy crap. So it's $1 billion a month. $1 billion a month Tesla will be making if they hit this tranche. Now again, it's not easy. Most people say this is impossible. Most people would say that's ridiculous. But this is what Elon has to do, and he's 2 for 2 for doing impossible. As far as his pay programs, he's hit every single tranche, and the goals were just as auspicious. They were very lofty. The first time, right? People said this is impossible, and he did them. So if he does this, $12 million a month. $1 billion a month is $12 billion a year in revenue. Now, by the way, it's not just revenue; that's profit, right? Because it's a subscription, right? So it's $1 billion a month in revenue if they hit this number, right? Or in profit. You know what's the cost? There is no cost to this. It's code. So they're making $100 a month, $12 billion a year. Just to put that in perspective as to where Tesla is right now, Tesla's profit in 2024 was only $7.1 billion. That's profit, not revenue. Obviously, they make a lot more revenue than this, but you know, it costs money to make the cars. You have cost of goods sold and buildings and salaries and all this stuff. So you're talking $12 billion a year in profit. So almost doubling their current profit, or a profit from, let's say, a year ago, just in FSD subscription. That's not robo-taxis. That's not all the other things, all the cars, semi-trucks, robots, all the other stuff. That's just in FSD subscriptions if they hit that number. So the sign of a company, right? Because I just actually read a comment yesterday or the day before, I can't remember. Somebody said, when can Tesla stop being, it was actually somebody who was complaining about the company. It was like, when does Tesla stop being able to trade at 100 times PE? Well, it's because the reason it trades at 100 times PE, which is profit to earnings ratio, for those who don't know what PE is, right? So the way people evaluate stocks and incorrectly evaluate stocks, in my opinion, at least Tesla, because it's a growing company and you can't compare Tesla's PE to Ford, because Ford is not making robots, doesn't have an insurance company, isn't working on robo-taxi technology, isn't making semi-trucks. There's so much more to Tesla than making superchargers, right? Ford's just going to use Tesla superchargers, right? So there's so much more. So you can't compare. It's like comparing Amazon to Borders Books, right? And saying they're both bookstores. Well, yeah, Amazon does a lot more than sell books, right? So, where Borders doesn't. So anyway, the point being is that is a P ratio. So price, what the price of the stock is divided by the earnings. And the earnings is the net profit. Whew. Well, it's actually earnings per share, but whatever. You can figure it out. I could do another video when I'm not jogging and my brain is turning to mush. So these comp plan, if Elon hits it, the final tranche, if he hits all the tranches, Tesla will be worth, it has to be worth over $8.5 trillion. That's the market cap. It's right around $1 trillion right now. So you're talking about 8x, 9xing the company, which means their stock 8x, 9xing over the next, I don't even know how long the plan is. I think it's 5 years. If it is 5 years, that'd be perfect, because that'll be funny, because I've been making videos on TikTok forever, for like the last 4 years, talking about how my price target for Tesla in the year 2030 is $4,000. Right now it's at like 300, right? Actually, well, it's 300 after a split when I started talking about it, but whatever. It's probably going to split again. It won't get to 4,000, it'll split if it's just getting to like the 1,000, 2,000 again number. They'll split it up. But yeah, I've been saying this for a while. And so if this is a 5-year plan, I got to look that up. I would right now, but if I do, the live goes off. But I'm going to do a full video. So if you're interested in talking about this, I'm going to do a full video on my YouTube channel. Please, my objective, by the way, is, other than running every morning, is by this time next year, on my birthday, to quit my job and be full-time content creator, which means I need to have a bunch of subscribers. And that way I can really spend time and money and, get an editor and really spend time getting to know people and building a community, which is what I'd like to do. So sorry about this wind. Yeah, we're doing much better than yesterday. Yesterday I stopped a while back, but we're going to be stronger. We're stronger today than we were yesterday. So thank you, by the way. Thank you for being in the room and watching me suffer and keeping me occupied as I'm jogging here. So I will be uploading some clips, some shorts from yesterday's podcast. I redid the Are We Living in a Black Hole podcast because my audio was really crappy last time. I actually redid the intro video on my channel last night as well, because even that audio was still crappy. I was like, man, I'm going to be an audio technician by the time I'm done with podcasting, or learning this stuff. So yeah, I think my audio finally is good. We'll see. I'll check it today, and then I'm going to do a more in-depth video about Elon's new pay package. But the pay package is exactly what it should be. Like, you understand, like, no other CEO would sign up for this. No other CEO. But Elon has been working with no pay package since they took it away in 2022. Since the activists, looking like cosplaying as a judge, decided to take Elon's pay package away from 2018, where it was the same type of pay package, right? It was the same thing. You have to bring enormous value to the point where I think Tesla was at like $200 million market cap at the time, or $100 million, and they had to get to $1 trillion. And he did it, along with, all the operational standards. So the shareholders voted to say, yeah, we're the owners of the company. If you bring us immense value and 10x our investment in the next 5 years, we will gladly pay you a small percentage of that. Now, a small percentage of extreme value is extreme, right? 1% of $1,000 is $100. No, it's $10, right? 10% is $100. So 1% of $1,000 is $10. But 1% of $1 billion. Why would I try to attempt math while I'm running uphill on mile 3 and sweating all down myself? 1% of $1 billion. Come on, Maddie, you can do it. You can do it. Is it $1 million? 10 million? 1%, 2 zeros down. 100 million would be 10 million. So $10 million. So if you're willing to pay someone $10 if they make you $1,000, then you should be willing to pay someone $10 million if they make you $1 billion. And if they make you $1 trillion, paying them $10 billion, right, now I can do the math easy. One more hill. We can do it. We can do it. Why does it feel like my entire run is uphill? Probably because I'm not paying attention. No, downhill. Where am I? Where are you go? Okay. Where are you go? I go up this hill. I'm in New York. I'm in New York. Long Island. My day started at 6. I started running at 8. I've got a solar appointment at 10. And then the rest of the day will unfold from there. Most likely, I will get a couple of videos up today that I'm going to work on. But most likely, I will get some more solar appointments that I'll have to do as well. Come on, Matt, get up this hill. Last freaking hill. This is the last one. It's the steepest one. Right before I get back to my house. Okay, we're up. So the point being is, there's already people who have problems with the compensation, as if this is easy. And by the way, as if any CEO would take this. There's no CEO that would say, I have to double the size of the company. And by the way, it's not doubling a company that's a startup. This is doubling a company that's already in the Magnificent Seven. It's one of the 7 biggest companies in the world, especially in the United States. And you have to double it? And that's tranche 1? Just the first step is to double the company? Or you get nothing? I mean, let's go. Talk about motivation, right? And the funny thing is, by the way, for those of you who are like, oh, Elon should take the money and, help the poor and solve world hunger. Another stipulation of his pay package is he has to hold the stock for 7 years. So he can't even sell it for 7 years. Most people don't even pay attention to these things because they don't care. They just know billionaire bad. And they don't understand the concept that money just makes you more what you are. It allows you to do what you already will do. So whether you like Elon or don't like Elon, you can't ignore the fact that Elon wants to go to Mars. Right? That's what he's do. And I watched this thing on Neil deGrasse Tyson talking, and he was like, never does. He doubted Elon's ability to do this because he's saying in the history of humanity, every time there was a exploratory, dangerous mission to try to accomplish, exploring, coming to the New World, the Manhattan Project, going to the moon, all these types of things, the pyramids, right? So anytime there's been a huge undertaking that's super expensive, it's government that's led, right? So the government led, the Queen of Spain, funded Columbus and these trips to the New World. And then after they came and found that there's stuff here, and now there's gold and spices and a bunch of Indians they can kill, right? So once they found out there was a New World and where it was, and there was a map laid, and there was a profit to be made, that's when private corporation comes in, right? Nuclear energy, right? So then the Manhattan Project came, and then people started building nuclear reactors to power everything and make money. So, sorry I'm not looking at you guys. I'm literally looking out the road, trying to stay alive. I'm definitely over 3 miles right now. I don't know how far over 3 miles, but I'm gonna keep my feet. Oh, this is actually a downhill right here. Look at that. Actually a downhill. So this downhill is brought to you by the Cosmic Matters podcast and my Patreon, patreon.com/This Matters podcast. So if you want to support my downhill run, I'm gonna get to 4 miles. That's it. I bailed out yesterday at 40 minutes and 2 miles, so I'm gonna make it up today. I keep my feet going until I get to the 4th mile. I'm not really sure where I am, how far I am right now. I just know I've got to be probably around 3 miles and a quarter. And I know for you running 100-pound athletic young people, 3 miles is like your warm-up. But for us 48-year-old 290-pound don't run people, ex-football linemen, this ain't easy at all. But hey, everybody has their own level, and it's not about competing against other people. It's about competing against yourself and becoming a better person every day. And that's what we're doing. That's why I'm here. No one just heard that motivating message. Oh, it's about to do something first. Let me turn my camera aside. You guys didn't get to see that. You see me spinning. So keeping the feet going. So the point being is, should we pay people? Does the amount matter as much as the value that they give? Like, people think that some people have too much money, but if you have big goals, that's what I was talking about, Neil deGrasse Tyson. So Neil deGrasse Tyson was talking about how when Elon goes to whatever board or whatever VCs he needs to get the funding to do this, they're gonna say, well, how dangerous is this? He's like, extremely dangerous. Most likely, people will die. Well, how much is it gonna cost? It's gonna be extremely expensive. Well, how long is it gonna take? It's really a tough, long endeavor. It's going to Mars only comes into a close enough orbit with Earth every 2 years for us even to make the trip, because sometimes Mars is on the other side of the sun than Earth is, right? So every 2 years they line up, and so it's going to be a very long time, very long endeavor to set everything up. So all right, so it's extremely dangerous. People probably die. It's extremely capital intensive, building rockets and paying engineers and doing all this stuff that probably won't work many times before it does work. And what's the payoff? What's the return on investment? We don't know. We'll go to Mars. What's on Mars that we want to get? We don't know. Probably nothing. But it will be good for humanity, because then we can start making a space station there, and if something cataclysmic came to hit Earth, we would have a place to go. So that VC meeting is not too good, right? This is not something that's easy to get funding for, right? But what Neil is missing, the part that Neil is missing, is that Elon Musk is different. He's different about this. So he's trying to get the money for himself. He's like, I can raise them. He's like, if my net wealth is over $1 trillion itself, and if some of these pay packages go through, and the robots, by the way, part of the pay package is he has to make 1 million robots on top of all this stuff. But we start getting robots, and the money that comes from that, with the robo-taxis, with and how much shares he'll have, his value, his worth will be so high, and people will invest just to be a part of the project. Because if let's say he becomes the first 10 trillion. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, by the way, just saying that's ridiculous, because a trillion, people don't understand how much a trillion is. So I'm not flippantly saying that. every podcast I do, I talk about the difference between millions and billions and trillions, because it's important to understand these numbers. We're going to throw them out and just have context, because our mind doesn't have context. They kind of sound the same. But again, if you wanted to count to a million by seconds, it would take you 11 days, approximately 11 days to count to a million. If you wanted to count to a billion, how much bigger is a billion than a million? It would take you 31 years to get to a billion, right? Now, if you want to count to a trillion, you got to add 3 zeros to that. It's 31,000 years. 31,000 years. It's 15 times more than the humanity's since the birth of Christ, right? 15 times more than that, right? As far as stats go. So I understand. So when I say he's going to be the first trillionaire, but potentially be the first 10 trillionaire, I understand how ridiculous that number sounds. But I just looked at this compensation package. I looked at the fact that Elon's already the richest person in the world, and if he's going to 10x his company, and he's going to have 25% of that, and that happens in the next 5 years, what happens in the next 10 years? What happens to also the value of SpaceX, the value of Neuralink, the value of the Boring Company, all these other things he's got his hands in, right? So the fact is that he will amass some money. Now, if he wanted to, he could probably just buy governments if he wanted to, but that's not what he wants to do. Although I know I could already hear somebody in the comments like, "Oh, he bought Trump and he bought the election for Trump, right? Whatever." How'd that work out? How much of Trump and Elon talking now, right? So, the point being is, he's going to try to fund it himself. He won't need government. Yes, maybe it'll be the first time in history that it's done, and Neil's right that it's always been done by governments. But hey, things change. Things evolve. Nothing happens for the first time until it happens for the first time. So that's Elon's mission. That's what he wants. So he's got to accumulate a lot of money to do it. And he's on the right path. And I think he's going to be super focused now, for all the people who are like, oh, he's starting a new party. And Elon his mindset, he needs these types of things. Like, he needs ridiculous goals. He needs people to doubt him. There are people like that in this world. Like you think of the David Goggins, you think of Eminem, you think of Michael Jordan. There's the stories about Michael Jordan just creating stories that didn't happen, creating stories of people talking trash about him, and they weren't real, just to get himself motivated for the game. In a way that he plays this top. Tom Brady loved saying, hey, I was a 6th round draft pick, and look how good I am now, I'm the greatest ever. Eminem, these really great people who take the hate and doubt and turn it into fuel. Listen, that reminds me of Eminem's song with Jid, Fuel. So they turn it into fuel. So Elon, I think the reason he got into politics, yes, I do believe, I believe a couple things. Actually, I should do a whole video on that. Number one, the Biden administration, aka the Kamala administration, was going to be very bad for him. It was already bad for him. They were already doing all kinds of things to try to slow him down, and doing all kinds of things to try to help Ford and GM and the buddies of the UAW, the Auto Workers Union, who were trying to stop Elon, right? So that was one part of it. But another part of it was, I think he just needed a challenge. The challenge of turning around Twitter. He just likes big, huge, hard challenges. Challenges. I know where your minds went. It's bad. This is supposed to be kid friendly. But and this is what he does with his teams. He throws out these ridiculous timelines. He throws out these ridiculous goals and timelines and just says, let's get there. We got to get there. Now, does he always make it? No. I'm still waiting for cheap solar roofs, right? So, but isn't this what we tell kids to do? Isn't this what we tell our children? Set big goals, dream big, right? And now, when we see someone doing it, we're like, you have too much money. You're an evil. You're a Nazi. There shouldn't be billionaires. Billionaires are bad. It's like, well, my goal was to go to Mars. I can't go to Mars on $10. I can't create self-driving cars and Neuralink and robots for humanity and not have capital, and not make money doing it. And even if it's a small percentage, if I make so much value, me getting a small percentage means that I'm going to be a billionaire or a trillionaire or a 10 trillionaire. Because if Elon's 10 trillionaire, think of how big and how much good he's brought to the world then. In order for that to happen, I mean, you're talking about, right now I think we're at like 8 or 9% penetration of electric vehicles. Now we're talking about 50 or 60% electric vehicles. We're talking about solar panels and batteries offsetting our grid and stopping all the problems we have with power generation. We're talking about reducing car accidents by 50, 60, 70%. You know, right now, currently, 40,000 people die in car accidents every single year, and that's just fatalities. And on top of that, all the injuries and people who have back problems and because they're texting and driving. Number one reason for accidents is texting and driving, right? So, or distracted driving. So, think of all the human lives you save just from that, because it'll be cheaper to take a robo-taxi than to go drunk driving. Why would you drive drunk? You can have something pick you up. There's not even a driver in there, and it's 1/3 of the cost of an Uber, right? So you want to do your hair, you want to be productive on your way to work every day instead of driving your car back and forth and all the maintenance and all paying for insurance and paying your car payment. And just imagine if everyone just lost their car payment and insurance payment. My insurance payment is almost as much as my car payment is, so it's ridiculous. So that's all value brought to people. And then the robots on top of that, now you have labor. Whew. All right, I've got to be at 4 miles. All right, I can see my house from here. So I think I'm going to wrap up this live. I've chit-chatted long enough. I'm drenched. I'm sweating in my eyeballs. And I do appreciate everyone here that followed. Again, like the channel, like the videos, leave comments, anything to help out. And then if you want to help out financially, the only financial help you can give me right now is joining the Patreon at $5 a month, which is $1.25 a week. So if you would give $1.25 to someone for a week, that would be me. It'd help me out becoming a full-time content creator. So anyway, thank you again. I'll see you tomorrow morning. And until then, remember, this matters.